We're just making a little bit of pancake batter here. I've put in the milk and I've put in an egg and just whisked that together. I always start with the milk simply because it makes it much easier to judge how much batter you're going to end up with. And as long as you keep adding the flour in wee bits, you'll be alright for lumps and things. And just keep adding little bits at a time and whisk that in. Get it all from the sides. A good wee start. And like I said, just keep on doing that bit by bit until you get to a good consistency. I'm actually adding the last bit of my flour. Now, I don't know, Ian, how would you describe this? Because this is about the consistency you want.
How would I describe it? Yes, runny. Yeah. But more like a runny paste.
You can actually sort of feel it. At some point you'll start feeling that it's starting to give a little bit of resistance.
Of a cream, yeah.
Yep. And that's really what you're going for. We've put our frying pan on a medium heat and just adding a little bit of butter. You don't have to add a great deal. It won't, if your pot is hot enough, it won't really stick. It's just for the flavour of it. So just let the pan heat up properly. I'm gonna.
That's just a little bit of butter there. Don't need any more than that.
Oh. And especially, I mean, if you have a non-stick pot, you're really adding it for flavour rather than, you know, anything else. And you can hear that heating up alright. Now we want these pancakes to be pretty thin, so I'm not going to add a ladleful, but obviously it all comes down to how big your pot is. But it should only just cover the pot. And then it's like watching paint dry. It's really easy to tell when you can flip it over. Once all the batter has solidified, flip it over. It's pretty much cooked by then.
Is this a better method than getting a pancake mix?
I don't really see the point in pancake mixes.
Yes, yeah, I don't. I'd
because
make them on.
I mean, all you're adding is milk, egg, and flour, and I think you can leave the egg out when you get a mix. But how much does an egg really cost in comparison to how much does pancake mix cost? Yeah. I don't really see the point.
For me, I think it's a better feeling knowing that you've created something yourself rather than just something out of a packet. Although I do use the cheap methods and do use packets and tins and sausages.
Yeah, but for some things it's useful, and then for other things it's just. I just said that I wouldn't stick, didn't I? The wee corner there,
that's the first ripple.
To the best of us, and it's always the first one actually, and all it means is that I didn't wait long enough for the pan to heat up.
Right, that's a good wee tip. Make sure the pan's properly heated.
Yes, I cannot agree.
Right, while Whisk's making the pancakes, I'm going to make a quick, simple, easy orange syrup and add a fair amount of sugar. Again, no measurements, a cup of sugar. And what I'm going to do is, while the kettle is boiling, I'm going to quickly cut up an orange. Again, just be very careful with the fingers, and you don't want to get any of the flesh like I've just done there. Try to avoid that. Give that to the kids. And another one. You don't really need a lot of orange. It depends. It's up to you. you can't really put too much orange in it. But because I'm going to be using an orange flavour, so I don't use a lot of orange. But if you like all the little orangey bits, and all you do is just roughly chop it up. It doesn't have to be particular sizes. And I'm going to add that to the sugar. You don't want to give those away, just give them a little squeeze, a little bit of extra flavour. And I'm going to add the water, just about that much. Might have kind of slightly overdone it, but don't worry because you can always add a little bit more sugar. Let it boil, and you want to bring it down to a medium simmer, not a low simmer, and you'll know. I'll show you the end product, how thick. You just want a syrup, because when it cools down it gets thicker anyway. So later on I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now, orange flavouring, you can use an orange colour and a flavour as well, it's up to yourself. And this is a non-chemically tasting one. You can try and get a good orange flavouring, all the better, but any orange flavouring, and you just want to put just a few drops in, not a lot, because these flavourings are very concentrated and you don't want it to be too strong. So just let that simmer away. Could I just bother you for a wee spoon there, please, Whisker? That's lovely. Thank you. Just a little mix round. And you want to kind of stir it every few minutes. This is about the longest process of this dish that we're actually going to do, is the syrup making. So maybe before you do the pancakes, if you get that on first, and then carry on with the pancakes. And by the time they're ready, you've got a nice syrup sitting there waiting on you. Now that I've got the pancakes ready, which has been kindly done for me, whipped cream, everybody knows how whipped cream, we're going to show you. So the thickness I want you to do it is, just take a second or two, something more thicker than that, because you want a good dollop on it. So you want it sort of kind of just till it starts going stiff. You don't want it any more than that. You want to take the pancake and just place it in. So you want it to sort of kind of look like a kind of flower. And I'm going to turn the syrup off. Now this is how your syrup is supposed to look. It's quite watery, but when it cools down it does thicken up quite a lot. So you want to get that syrup, place it in. Preferably, I'm doing this just hot straight off the gas. Preferably just let it cool down for maybe 4 or 5 minutes till it starts getting a little bit more thicker when you put that in. But it doesn't really matter if you do it. Nice cream scoop, fresh cream, and this is my own homemade jam, which I'm going to show you the recipe another time. It's brambles, which I picked myself locally, and apples, just an apple at the fruit shop.
But I suppose nice. Any jam will do.
Yeah, I mean, for quickness.
And it's nice to get a sort of good quality jam, I think, because it is a big flavour in here. Yeah.
For me, for this dish, the bramble and apple jam really works well. Now, there's a little trick that you can do. This is great for the kids, it's also great for adults, but if you want to make it a special adult dish, a little bit of Cointreau into the syrup, or if you want to taste the, rather than boiling the alcohol out when you're boiling in the syrup, you can keep the alcohol in and just pour a little bit of Cointreau over the top. Well, this dish here is a really nice dish, and it's so nice that the first comment when we first made it was, it's better than an orgasm, and that's what it's called, better than an orgasm.